Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back with another video. Here we have a special guest. We have Hank with us. So we're just going to be going over some backtesting stuff. I recently found out about this FX Reply program, and it's really good because it's live real-time data, and you basically can just analyze the markets like this and practice your trading strategy. So right now we are on Monday, October the 23rd. And if we open up our news, we see that Monday, October 9th, we have no news. So it's probably going to be a slow Monday. I marked out this 3-minute bullish breaker block. We have these equal lows right here. These were London lows, and then we also created these during early New York session. So they're equal lows. If anything, I would be looking to sweep these equal lows and then go long. So we will see what happens with that. Okay, so as we can see, right off the start, when market opened, we ended up sweeping these equal lows how I wanted to. So we swept these equal lows right here, which is what I wanted to happen in order to go long. We don't have any breaker block though right here. We have an SMT right here. This would be considered an SMT. We can mark this out, but what I want to do is wait for a breaker block. We also have this 3-minute inversion fair value gap up here, but that's like pretty high up. So I don't know though, because if we get a close above the inversion fair value gap, it's with the breaker block as well. So we'll just let the candlestick play out. And you can even put it on like the 1-minute time frame and just like let it play out in real-time data. You see we get a big move up right there since we're waiting. So we see that, okay, so right here we see that the 3-minute candlestick closed above the 3-minute inversion fair value gap, and we also closed above the breaker block. So I would enter long right here. We swept the equal lows. We created an SMT right at market open. We have a 3-minute inversion fair value gap that we closed above, and then we also have a 3-minute breaker block right here. So I would enter long. So what you can do is pull out your long position tool. Our stop loss for this is not going to be our stop loss for this is going to be at this low, pretty close to the SMT low, but we didn't really get the best fill on this, so we'll just go off that. And then our take profits would be, honestly, our take profits they'd be like 50% of this huge move right here. So what we can do is we can pull out our fib retracement tool, and we can find the 50% mark of this. So like this would be our TP1. So I will mark that out. That would be our TP1, and that's only a 0.9. We would then let the rest ride to probably right here. And then our final one would be at the top of this. So those would be all of our TPs, totaling for a 2 risk to reward. And yeah, I mean, from there, you just go over here and you do place order. Sometimes it glitches a little bit. Do place order, risking 1% of your account. It already knows everything. You press save. So now this is your like position in the trade. Your stop loss would be right here, where you put it. And then yeah, then you just let it play out. So what we can do here is we can let it play out. I'll speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna put it on the 1-minute in case one of these gets hit, because that's when we would be taking our TP1. So as we can see, we came back down into the 3-minute breaker block, also the 3-minute inversion fair value gap. And at this point from the trade, since we made this high right here, I would want to mark this out. So that's saying that if we were to sweep this high again, I'd move my stops break even, just because I mean, if we're just sweeping that high and continuing lower, I'm not going to want to still be in the trade. So if we sweep that, I will move my stops break even. Doesn't look like we swept it. Kind of just chopping around. Slow Monday. So looks like we might get stopped out on this one. As we can see, this trade is taking forever to play out. Talk about a slow Monday. Okay, so we ended up hitting the break even right here. So right here, I would press this, moving our stops break even. So there's no more risk involved. I mean, as we can see, we just sat in the trade from 9:40 in the morning until 12, and we ended up only getting that high. I mean, there was just not much going on right here. So we'll see if we hit TP1 right here, or if we get stopped break. Okay, so it looks like we hit our TP1 right there. I would close out 50% of my position at TP1. So we go right here, create new order, 50% of original position, press save, and then it closes out 50%. And then, yeah, you can see your realized P&L down here, your unrealized. So, yeah. And then our TP2 would be right here. And then, honestly, I would probably close out all of our position at TP2, just considering how slow the market was for this day. So I'd just wait for it to get here, only for a 1.5 risk to reward. But, I mean, considering it being a Monday, that's okay. We already had our TP1, so we'll see what happens here. Basically just a lot more chop. Really not much going on. Okay, and it looks like right there we hit our final TP. So 1.5 risk to reward. Pretty good trade, honestly, off a 3-minute breaker block. Equal low liquidity sweep and an SMT. So after this, I'd be done for this day because we literally sat in the trade from 9:40 to 1:30 in the afternoon. So I'd be done after this. And then what I can do is I can go to the next New York session. And yeah, so this would be Tuesday then. Tuesday, we can see that we have somebody speaking in the afternoon around 1. So that's all good for the morning. Probably won't get too much action. Pull out this, we can see that we have London highs that are still intact, and that's about it. Really choppy. So mark these out. London highs that never got swept. Okay. And then we just kind of create like our overall bias for the market. So we could probably expect a move down right here to fill in this big imbalance that was created. So yeah, in all honesty, I'd want to see a sweep of these London highs and then breaker block maybe. So yeah, let's see. Can we spot a bearish breaker block right here? Okay, wait. So bullish is... So a bearish would have to be...
Like a low and then another low like sweeps it.
So it would be like this low. So like it would be this low and then like a high and then something else that sweeps
so
this low.
It's not low enough for the
okay.
breaker block in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, got it. But wouldn't this be considered one though?
How so?
Well, this is a low right here, and then we get to move up, chop, and then we break through it right here.
Yeah, I mean that could be considered one, I would say.
Yeah. Let's see if there are any more examples. Well, right here we have one.
It just kind of.
Right here we would have a 3-minute one. this side. Okay. So like we made a low right here, and then we went up, and then we swept it, and we closed below it. So that doesn't really have too much confluence because we want to see the London high swept first. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so as we can see right here, we ended up sweeping these London highs right here. And our overall bias was bearish for the day. So if we get any confirmation to go short, then we will go short. Let's see if we have anything, any breaker blocks or whatnot. I am not. This would be considered one right here. They're easier to spot when it's bullish.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that this would be one because this is a low right here.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say, but it's right in the middle.
I swear to God, shit's pissing me off. I think it's because, okay, yeah.
She put the minus or whatever.
I like it just that it's red.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because we made a low right here, then we went up, and then we swept it. You see?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, okay. Well, we'll wait to see what happens from this. I'd want to see like a SMT or 3-minute inverse. We can also look at higher time frames to see if we have an SMT. So right here, we see that this would technically be a 15-minute SMT. We have this right here, and then we have a big move down, and then big move back up, creating an SMT right there. An SMT is a smart money technique for entering the market, where smart money enters the market. So what we can do now is we can mark out a 3-minute inversion fair value gap. So as we can see, we have an IFVG right here. We also would have one right here. I'd honestly want to see a close below both of these before I would enter, just because we had the breaker block right there, and it would just be more confluence for us. So we'll see what happens. And as we can see, we did not get a close. We didn't even get a close above the first one. So we would not have taken that trade. Is there anything else? Keep in mind, today we had somebody speaking at 1. So it is already, it's like 11:20. So if we don't find anything, then we just won't be taking a trade. It's already 12 right now. So, in all honesty, no trading day. There were just no setups. We got a big move down right here.
Right after he speaks.
Yeah. We could create a breaker block right here, which could be good if we end up closing below this. But I don't know if we will. So yeah, it just looks like nothing happened for this day. So yeah, no trading day for today. We had a winning Monday the day before, and that's all okay. So just sit off the charts if you don't find a setup that suits you. That's what you have to be capable of doing if you're a trader. It's letting things come to you. So if we go to the next New York session, this would be Wednesday the 11th. So Wednesday the 11th, we have PPI in the morning. We have somebody speaking at 10:15, and then we have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 in the afternoon. So on a day like today, I would be trading New York Open. So at 9:30, I'd start trading. This is low impact news, so I'd honestly be fine with being in a trade at 10:15. I wouldn't really enter anything before 2 then, like for the PM session, but I would trade after this news drops, because high impact news will lead to like liquidity sweeps in the market, which is what you want to see. So if we look at the day before, we can see that we have London lows right here, and that is basically it. London lows that never got swept, and yeah. For overall market, I would assume that we would be honestly just waiting for a liquidity sweep and seeing how the market reacts. Don't really have too much of a bias for this. If we look at the hourly, bullish market structure. Yeah, basically just waiting for a liquidity sweep and seeing what happens. Probably pretty bullish though, as we're filling in this big imbalance right here. We can see what happens when we get to the top of that. But it would be nice if we were able to sweep London lows, and then get an opportunity to go long. That could be really good for us. So we will see what happens. Let's see, do we have any breaker blocks whatsoever? No. Okay. So as we can see, market opens up, not really doing too much, and this is mainly because we have a very high impact news day today. So it's not going to do much on these days. Okay, so right now it's already 12 in the afternoon. We have the meeting minutes at 2, so I would not be trading right now. I normally get off the charts at like 12 before lunchtime, and I just want to be trading. We have news. We have the news dropping at 2, so we will wait for that and see what happens. Okay, so what we can see with the news is we ended up sweeping these. We ended up sweeping these London lows, so that gives us decent confirmation to go long. And as we can see, we also have some low resistance liquidity building right here, which is pretty good. And what that is, it's just like resting liquidity. It's basically made in consolidation, and it's just resting liquidity that needs to be swept. So if we look right here, we do have, we kind of have an SMT right here. I'd have to get a good reaction off a fair value gap. Yeah, so it looks like we ended up closing above this one, this 3-minute one. We have this 3-minute one right here. And we ended up closing above it right here. So in all honesty, our entry would be all the way down here. We didn't see that though. So we'll see if price were to come. So it looks like price did come back to it. In all honesty, this trade does look good to go long. So I will be going long. We got a good second reaction from the fair value gap. So we will put our stops below these lows. And we will be targeting these highs right here. Our TP, we'll have a TP right here. And then another one right here. And then our final one at the top right here. Go to place order. Okay, there we go. And we will see how this plays out. Okay, so we end up hitting a TP1 right there. I should have put it at the, okay, well our stops are going to be break even at this point. I haven't taken any profits yet because it's already like past our profit thing, so hopefully it gets back up there so we can see. Okay, so we would have taken our TP1 right here. We would have closed 50% of our position. Stops are break even at this point. And then we will wait for TP2 to get hit. If it gets hit, stops are break even, so no risk. Basically just chop. Okay, and so we end up hitting it right there. So right here, I would take off. So I left in 50%. So I'd take off another 50% of my position.
I think it's 25%.
Yeah, no, it would be 25. There we go. Take off 50% first, and then of your remaining position, you would take off half of that, which is 25% of original. So yeah, stops or break even, and then our final take profit would be up here. We'll just let that play out. And we end up hitting it. So full TPs were hit right there. We even could have had a better entry. Like I said, we had the 3-minute inversion fair value gap that was made right here. We end up closing above it actually with this candle. So our entry could have been all the way down here, but our replay we ended up replaying it too much in the future. So our entry was a little bit higher, but that's okay. That was still a 2.7 for risk to reward. So yeah, back-to-back trades were winning trades. I mean, yeah, for this trade, we saw the low resistance liquidity. We didn't even have our breaker block on this trade. We used the low resistance liquidity as a confluence with the London low sweep, SMT 3-minute IFVG, targeting the highs, and that was basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, though. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos where we just backtest. It's really good for your strategy to see how things kind of play out and see if your strategy like works or not. So yeah, until next time, guys, I will see you.